What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Deep Rhythm, and we got another video for y'all today. We got a special video for y'all today. We want to dabble in the quick subject of being able to functionality, right? To be able to, efficiency is the word, right? So now let me talk about efficiency real fast. So I have a question for you. So the question is, would you rather be perfect or would you rather do something to make sure that all the technicalities of how you do it is perfect? Or would you rather make sure that the job that you're doing gets done, and that when it's done, the job, to make sure the job looks done, right? So now I want to dabble into the aspect of shortcuts, right? So like when we talk about, are you willing to take shortcuts? And are you willing to shortcuts in terms of the technicalities of the fundamentals or the functions in which you are doing, right? Are you willing to take shortcuts on some fundamentals in order to make sure a job gets done, correctly in a timely manner? Or, or are you willing to, or would you rather be perfect, right? And make sure the fundamentals and technicalities of the way that you do something remains perfect, So that's what we want to talk about in this video today. Would you rather take a few shortcuts on some fundamentals in order to make sure the job gets done efficiently and, in a proper manner? Or would you rather make sure that the technicalities of how you do it is fundamentally sound and to a T, and just regardless of anything else, nothing changes. It just has to be fundamentally sound. So now, the first thing I want to, dabble into talking about this subject is, of course, you have the aspect of efficiency, right? When you do something, you want to make sure that you're doing it in an efficient manner. So this is one point for efficiency, right? You want to make sure you're efficient in what you do, right? And you want to make sure that you're doing things in a timely manner. And the aspect of making sure you're efficient is tied to riches. I'll say it's tied to gold. It's tied to gems. It's tied to treasure, right? And it's a matter of, when you work for something, you want to get some type of treasure out of it, right? Because that's the whole point of hard work. What's the point of working hard if you're not getting anything out of it? It doesn't make any sense at all. And it defeats, the laws, the natural laws of just how, the world works, right? Or just how things work, period, right? You're defying science. You know what I'm saying? So that's an aspect that's a few points on the efficiency side, right? When you're efficient, you gain things, right? You gain leverage. You get rewarded for your work, right? You work hard, you get rewarded for it. Now you can keep doing it over and over again, and that's just like how the natural science. That's just natural science, right? And that's just how it's supposed to be. But now, and that's just it, right? You get your riches, you get everything you need, and people may look at you and may see you in a certain light, right? Now you have a certain light and you have a certain projection in how you seem, because you took quote unquote shortcuts, but really you didn't take shortcuts. You were just you broke some laws of some fundamental laws in order to make sure that the job gets done efficiently. Now you're being rewarded. Now you're seen in a different light. You know what I'm saying? Because of what is perceived, or what a person sees at the end of your work, right? At the end of when you finish the job, now your projection, or how you seem, or how you're viewed, right? Or how people talk, is now viewed, is based on the productivity of your work, right? So because you took a few shortcuts on fundamentals and you decided to be efficient with your work, make sure that the job gets done, now you're viewed in a positive light, or an efficient light, and you're viewed in based on the efficiency of how the work, how it's seen, right? How it looks in terms of the job you committed, right? the the perfection of it, right? How it looks, in terms of perfection, it looks good, right? It's efficient. It was done efficiently, and because you're saying you may have took a few shortcuts on the fundamental technicalities of it. Now you have a little bit of energy to keep going and doing it, repetitively over and over again, right? So that's some points for the efficiency side. So now on the fundamental side, right? Based on, the aspect of would you rather stay, fundamentally sound with everything, making sure it's perfect, or would you rather be efficient with your work and actually gain, So now let's look at the fundamental side, right? If I'm fundamental with my work, technically sound about my work, this is what I gain, okay? So if I'm fundamentally sound in what I do and I don't break any type of fundamentals, even though the job itself, I could probably do a better job if I extended myself outside of the fundamentals. I maintain some sort of notion of poise within my own mind that, I'm fundamentally sound this way, right? Or I maintain some sort of appearance to myself, I guess, in the way that I work. But this is just between me and me, right? And it's like I can do things fundamentally, right? And I could just say that I'm this fundamentally sound, that I do work, I do work to a specific way, to perfection, and that's something that's in between me and me, right? That I can do that. See now, the other thing about that is, like, that's just what it is. You get that, right? It's something in between you and nobody else, right? And it's like you miss out on being able to consistently repeat that process, because you're probably tired, and you're probably you probably don't, your body probably doesn't even have the tools to be able to sustain that sort of perfection on a consistent, repeated basis, one. And two, you're depleting yourself of that much more energy in order to do other things that you probably want to do, or or something that you probably like desire or aspire to actually be able to do. But now, you can't do that either. You don't have the energy to do that. And then another thing is, like, when you I guess, if you're just going to be that technical about things and not, you gain some sort of you feel some sort of ego in your own mind, in your own head, that you can do this, you can do this, this way to perfection, and and that's just about it, and that's just about it. But the problem with that is you don't gain any type of you don't get any type of recognition. But also at the same time, the job itself might not even be done, not only not efficiently, it may be perfect, but it's just not efficient, right? So, now the job that you do is just, it's like not as sustainable. It doesn't appear to be that much better. I mean, there's no, you can't sustain it because it's not efficient, and it's just like, that compared to you being efficient, you're not getting the proper lighting or the proper shed of light that you deserve, right? You know what I'm saying? That's the problem, right? The person who was efficient and actually took shortcuts on fundamentals is now getting recognition and now being viewed in a certain light that you should be viewed in, because you put in even harder work. But and you put even harder work into, the technicalities of the job itself, right? But now you're not getting viewed in that in the same light. You may or may not even get the job done as perfect or as visually sound or you may actually do get the job even more perfected and more visually sound. You know what I'm saying? But in the aspect of efficiency and being able to do a job and repeat a job over and over again, you don't, you know what I'm saying, you're not getting that. And you're not necessarily, and when you decide to go down that road of fundamentals, and being technically sound, now you're not trained, or your eye isn't necessarily developed enough to be able to see the actual, the beauties of, of things that you can use to assist you in the job, or potentially things that can help you in order for you to be able to function better, right? And now this is where you start to miss out on life, right? Because now you're so one-track minded, in terms of like technicalities and doing things fundamentally and doing things religiously and all this, that, you missing all of the other things that are put in place, or that other, that have been developed by other people, or just the like the beauty of other things in life that could help you to function better and help you to continue living. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we get the spark, in our life, right? It's coming from these other things, on the aspect of when we talk about like efficiency versus technicalities and fundamentals, I believe that, that psychology of being so technical and so fundamental and religious, is actually the destruction of life. I think it's actually destroying life, right? I think that psychology or that mentality was actually created to destroy life. It's sent here to destroy life, in my opinion, right? That's personally my opinion, right? Because when you dabble too much into being so fundamental and technically sound and so religious, you miss everything else. You know what I'm saying? You sit on one side dreaming about things that you want to do, or things that you aspire to be around, or dreaming and things like this, but you never experience the actual good and blessings that's right in front of your own face. You know what I'm saying? And you never really can even see that. You think it's something that's far outside of yourself, and even a matter of what it does to your and not only do you miss these things, but like even what it does to your own mind. Like you're training your mind you're training your mind to almost live in hell, right? You're almost training your mind to live in hell. So I think that's also worth noting. And our minds weren't meant to operate like that. You know what I'm saying? As much as we tried to, just grind and just like destroy this other half of our mind, it was never meant to be like that. But hey, it is what it is. Our minds were literally not meant to function that way, to be productive, of course, but you know what I'm saying, our bodies were meant to live in such hell, to where we're being so technically and fundamentally sound that we can't even enjoy the own benefits of our hard work, right? It doesn't even make scientific sense. You know what I'm saying? It breaks the laws of science, right? It breaks it, like to work that hard and to not reap any sort of benefits of it. Like, it sounds cool, and it sounds like, you know what I'm saying, like some sort of machine can do that. But at the end of the day, your mind still being that of a human being, naturally, regardless of how much you try, it's still going to feel some type of way to, you know what I'm saying, putting in so much hard work and not reaping none of its benefits. And that's for a reason. right? It's for a scientific reason that you will feel some type of way, regardless of how much you try to cover it up. Putting in so much hard work and not getting nothing out of it, right? You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen, right? Like, it's going to happen, right? There's a plateau, there's a limit, you know what I'm saying? There's something has to get poured back into, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you commit a function and you do some sort of work, right? In order for the system, the functionalities of the system to continue running, something has to be poured back into that system, right? You know what I'm saying? And it isn't just, the system is just gonna run forever without you having to at least plug it into some sort of wall, give it some electrical juice, or give it some other, components that help, coordinate, give it some sort of nutrition or coordinate it in order for it to work. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's gonna conclude this video right here. I'm not gonna dive too much in this video. This video was a video specifically based on the subject of being fundamentally technically sound to perfection versus being efficient, and being willing to take some shortcuts, and extend from the fundamentals and technicalities of the, the functions itself, in order to hit some points that that you need to hit in order to commit the job in a more efficient and effective way. Anyway, peace and love. And yeah, we out this joint.